Hey there, we're Shannon and Jerry Arner, your hosts of the Arner Adventures podcast.
We're a minimalist couple driven by intentional living and adventure.
Burned out from the 24/7 grind of running our business, we traded the hustle and the bustle for something more meaningful.
We parted ways with most of our belongings and moved to the coast.
Listen along as we chat about life's challenges, share inspiring stories of those who have taken big leaps to live a life outside of the norm,
and help you live with more intention and less physical and mental clutter.
Each episode is a step toward doing and being just a little bit better for ourselves and the world around us.
Life's an adventure after all. Join us for the ride.
It's the Arner Adventures podcast. Hello everyone, I'm Jerry.
And I'm Shannon.
We're back for episode 151 of the Arner Adventures podcast.
Woo! This past week, it has been a whirlwind. Am I right?
You are right. Yeah.
If you all are listening to us in the U.S., well, those of you outside of the U.S. too, have more than likely experienced and still experiencing the stress from the United States election.
Yeah, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, you're probably still experiencing some stress. I think both sides experienced it.
Yeah.
Just as well.
If you're like us, you're looking for something to control, a way to find balance after the insane storm, which there's no other real way of describing it, no matter what, right?
Yeah. Yeah, with in post-election stress is, well, like any, it's anxiety and tension, or you're emotionally exhausted. A lot of that's pretty common after the election period.
Yeah.
Of course, it can be tied to a lot of things, kind of like a lot of stress. It's uncertainty about the future. It's worried about the outcomes, or just you're having, experiencing relief mixed with a leftover anxiety from following the campaign trail. It was a long process.
Yeah, it is a real thing, post-election stress. Even if it seems that things may, quote unquote, settle down after election day, emotions can still linger. Some people might feel overwhelmed by the buildup, like Jerry said, and discussions around the issues that they care about. So what we decided is that while we're looking for ways to sort of handle post-election stress, we put together a post-election stress reduction plan. Does that sound like a great campaign or what, Jer?
That sounds like a really good campaign. Yes.
Maybe the next candidate should ride on the message of post-election stress reduction plan.
Yeah.
Well,
it's about time.
Yep. Well, let's get to it. Do you want to start with number one, or shall I?
You can start.
Okay. Number one, the first thing we're going to go over are simple self-care routines for mental and emotional well-being. So you're going to start small. Little things like creating a morning routine, journaling, breathing exercises, all these things sort of set the tone for the day.
Yeah, and then there's a daily check-in. You can ask yourself, what do I need right now? It can be simple, a glass of water, a little bit of stretching, 5 minutes to sit quietly. Sometimes I just like to, after I wake up, just sit on the sofa and sip my coffee for 10 minutes and just kind of gather it all in.
Yeah, and everybody's different.
Yeah.
I like to get my walk going right then and just get outdoors right when I wake up with the pups. So self-care doesn't need to be fancy. Affordable and simple things like a warm shower, listening to a favorite song, like I said, stepping outside. These small habits can keep your energy steady through stressful times and beyond. I mean, are we kidding? No.
You're right.
And beyond. You can do this all times of year.
Mm-hmm. Number two is how to manage stress when things feel chaotic. The first way to do that is limit your decision making, because when you're stressed, decision fatigue is very real. Simplify things by setting small routines. A lot of times people with anxiety, routine is good because it takes out the guesswork and a lot of things, makes things easier. So
100%.
Yeah, eat the same breakfast each morning. I do that pretty much anyway. I eat the same lunch usually too. Plan your dinners in advance, stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we've talked about in another episode, was planning those dinners and having the choices written on like the side of the fridge takes all that decision making out. And it also takes out last minute, like ordering food delivered or all that. So it saves money too, which is also a reduction of stress.
Yeah.
So the next thing under this is get moving, even just a little. So a quick walk, a stretch can make a big difference in easing your stress. Even 10 minutes can calm some racing thoughts. You know those chilly fall nights when all you want to do is cozy up?
You bet I do.
Well, thanks to Cozy Earth, Cozy just got a major upgrade. We're talking bamboo sheets, a down alternative duvet, a lush bubble cuddle blanket, fluffy bath towels. Seriously, our whole bed and bathroom are basically a Cozy Earth showroom.
Yeah, it's like every item is designed to make you feel like you're living in a luxury cabin. And we all like that, but in an eco-friendly way. Their products are sustainably made and we can't get enough of them.
And here's the best part. You, listener, can bring that Cozy Earth vibe into your home too. Just use code CE-ARNER, that's as in Cozy Earth-ARNER, CE-ARNER at checkout to save 40% off site-wide. Or you can head over to arneradventures.com/Cozy Earth for all the details.
Yeah, seriously, don't sleep on this one.
Oh, good one, Jer. Good one.
Thank you. Actually do sleep on it because these bamboo sheets are next level cozy.
And don't forget, use CE-Arner at checkout to save 40% off site-wide.
Yay. Yes, and do one task at a time. Multitasking can amplify stress, and I know a lot of people take pride in their multitasking, but it's really not the best thing to do for yourself.
Studies show it's not even real. People can't do it effectively.
Yeah. Just focus on one thing at a time. Even one breath at a time can be really grounding.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is the importance of taking breaks from news or social media. This is huge.
Yes.
So, you're going, but Shannon, Jerry, I remember you having an episode about some of the benefits of social media.
Uh-huh.
And there are. We were sort of tackling the idea of social media is a great thing in connecting us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you are trying to de-stress and you're trying to, especially in a situation like post-election, it is so important to take a break from the news, of course, but also social media.
Yeah.
The first thing we recommend are social media detox days. So it can be unplugging just for the day. It can be, you're setting limits on certain apps, which is what we've done.
Mm-hmm.
Different things like silencing notifications on your phone for certain times of day. And it can also be, I want to take a whole week away from social media or more. And that's okay.
Uh-huh.
It's actually will do wonders, even if you afterwards go, wow, what are some of the benefits that I just experienced from taking a social media detox? There's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah. Mindful news consumption. Choose specific times to check the news rather than scrolling all day. We live in a 24/7 news cycle, so you really got to be choosy about where and when you take your news. It's not like the old days when it comes on at 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. at night.
Right.
And remember, social media's strategy is to keep you there, to control you, so don't let it control you.
That's right. Positive alternatives, replace your doom scrolling with something uplifting like listening to music or reading. This is what I've done. I have a book that I'm reading right now that I got from the library. I really enjoy it. And when I have quote unquote downtime, I bring my book instead of bringing my phone with me because I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the phone and start scrolling. And so I just have my book with me. So I open it and then I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm going to read my book instead of, doing something else. I'm like looking at news or what people are saying about the election or whatever.
Yeah.
All of those can be really positive alternatives.
Yeah. Number 4, ways to reconnect with what grounds you. Nature, hobbies, and quality time. Ooh, I like all of those.
Right. So the first one under this is the power of being outside. Like we say, even just a few minutes outside each day can be refreshing, whether it's a walk around the block, just sitting in the sun. I recently heard there was a study that talked about, and I'll have to find it and link it in the show notes, but it was a recent study that talked about people who are outside. I can't remember. Jared, do you remember how long it was? It seemed like 30 minutes, 30 or 45 minutes a day.
Sounds about right.
If they have a total of 30 or 45 minutes a day of outside, their longevity of their lifespan was like 8 years longer than those who don't get it.
Yeah.
I will find the study and put it in there so you can read it in more clarity. But it was something, again, about the benefits of being outside.
Yeah, I like this next one too. Do things that make you lose track of time. Focus on activities where time flies. It can be cooking, painting, reading. I would say maybe even writing too.
Or writing, like journaling.
Uh-huh.
The next one is intentional time with loved ones. Now, let's be clear here. Intentional time with loved ones, even people you like. This is not the time to be around a bunch of people that disagree with you.
Yeah.
Be present with people, even if it's virtually, that are like-minded or maybe are on the same thing that you're like, hey, we're not going to talk about the election. We're just going to move through. It can be very grounding, comforting, especially during turbulent times. Now is not the time to be around someone who's going to, I don't know, complain about it or maybe doom talk you into whatever's going to happen or not going to happen. No, just be around people who are on the same path you're on.
That's right. Number 5, make time for fun and adventure, even in stressful times. Plan micro adventures. Try adding adventure into daily life, like trying a new recipe, exploring a nearby park, or watching an international film.
Oh, yeah, or watching Hallmark, like
or
we
watching
have been
Hallmark TV. Yeah.
a lot lately.
Yeah.
The next thing is, another adventure can be just to laugh it out. We've talked about the healing power of humor, like when we're traveling and we get stressed, the pre-travel stress and the TSA line, we create these backstories about the TSA agents. Yeah. Like Jer will say something about why they went into this career and we'll laugh about it. And I'll say how they were probably bullied in high school. We laugh about it.
Yeah.
It makes a stressful time less stressful. So you could do the same thing in situations like this.
Oh, yeah. Laughter heals. That's for sure. Go somewhere you've never been in your town. I like that one too. This is a time to go do something you have wanted to do and maybe have taken it for granted because it's just there. Mm-hmm. Even if it's having breakfast at a new diner or going to that park you keep hearing about. Trying something new is an adventure.
Yeah, it definitely is. Mm-hmm. And so, those, or you might go, oh my gosh, listen, I can't do all of these things. Just try one of them.
Yeah.
So just to recap, the 5 things to help you with post-election stress are: number 1, simple self-care routines for mental and emotional well-being. Number 2, how to manage stress when things feel chaotic. Number 3, the importance of taking breaks from news or social media. Number 4, ways to reconnect with what grounds you. And number 5, make time for fun and adventure.
Yes.
I think those are a great plan for handling post-election stress.
I love that. Yes. It's wonderful. If this episode resonated with you, or if you know of someone who would benefit from what we talked about, please share it with a friend.
It's a great way of supporting the podcast, and we really appreciate it.
Another way of supporting the pod is by leaving us a 5-star review or rating on the platform you are listening to us on.
And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That also supports us. You can always find us, the show notes, and sponsors who support the podcast at arneradventures.com.
And until next time, enjoy the journey you're on. We're wishing you lots of adventures.
Bye-bye.